let's do a pick a card, and this is about what's going on or what might be coming up in your life, okay? This is pile 1, 2, and 3. So take just a minute, decide which pile is right for you, and we're going to go ahead and get started, okay? I'll put these over here. We have pile 1. Let's see what we have. You have the Rhino Spirit. Overcome any obstacles. Anger. Deep knowing. Storm warning. Let's get this over a little bit more. And finally, you have Fox. Okay, so looking at this kind of as a whole, it looks like there is something going on that is challenging, that you know that you can overcome any obstacle. Because here is a storm warning. You feel like something is coming. And this anger card for me isn't always anger. It could be any kind of an emotion that is of a challenging nature. Here, you have deep knowing. And for right here, with the Lenormand, you have Fox. It deals with being cunning and decisive and taking the time to figure out how to handle this. Okay? So let's go ahead and get a card for each one of these. But yeah, it looks like there's something that's coming up, and I feel like you might very well know it's coming. It's going to be a challenge. But it's letting you know here in a very positive way that you can overcome anything, any obstacles. And it is saying here that you have a deep knowing. So deep within you, you know either how to handle this or that, you know, this is going to pass, everything's going to be okay, the storm is going to leave, and everything is going to be fine. So let's see what would like to come out for the Rhino Spirit. Ooh, and it just fell. Hold on just a second. Okay. You have the Four of Pentacles. This is stability, security. So that might be what is in question here. Let's get another one. Okay, here it's talking about you having choices, which of course you will. If you are getting ready to go into, I don't want to say battle, but dealing with whatever this obstacle is, you want to be prepared, and you know there's many choices. So here, it's letting you know to pick the choice that is best for you, that's going to bring in the stability, the security. Okay? Let's go ahead and get a card or two for anger. And like I said, for me, anger, it could be any of the challenging emotions. It doesn't just have to be anger. Anger can be part of it, but it's anything that you are trying to remove. How's that? We love our happy emotions, not so much the challenging ones. Okay, here you have the Ten of Swords. This is talking about you putting an end to this. All right? And this can be a little bit hurtful. It does not have to be. Matter of fact, it could just be this huge sense of relief, or a combination of the two. And I kind of, what I'm feeling from this is it's more of a relief. And I do feel like it is either with a person, people, or organization, say like your workplace. Oh, you have 4. Trying to fit these in. Okay, here we go. This one is where you feel alone. These are your thoughts, okay? This is a door, and here's the key. You can get out of this anytime you want. And it looks like from here, that is what you want to do. You might have to use some of your resourcefulness, your cunning, to figure out how you open that door. And to me, this would be the how. In this instance, this is like the different stages of you figuring this out, okay? And look at here, right here. You figured it out. So, by you working through this, you're finding your answer. And here, you have the Magician. So this is saying you can create the reality that you want. And this was the first one that came out. So the short and sweet of these two, I'm going to put it right here, is this challenging, or these challenging emotions that you're dealing with, you're putting it into it. And this is how. Here it is, the challenging emotions. You are evaluating and going through whatever steps you need to reach that point where you bring in the Magician energy and get out of the challenging energies. Okay. Deep knowing. Let's see if we can get a card or two for that. This deep knowing, it makes me feel like, no, that's too many. You know what you need to do. Deep inside, even if you don't understand it on the surface as much, you know, you have the wisdom. Either that could mean that you've been in a situation somewhat like this before, and we've all been in challenging energies, right? So I think you have a really good clue. And interestingly, these cards are having a challenge coming out. But yeah, I feel like there is a huge part of you that knows what to do. Maybe there are doubts. And so you're looking for some sort of confirmation. That's possible. Okay. Circle, circle, circle. This is saying you have the deep knowing. The answer is to end this, which is what you're doing right here, and to bring in a new beginning. Okay? One that has stick-to-itiveness. You see these roots? This is also abundance. And here you have the Eight of Swords. This is where, you know, you're feeling kind of stuck, kind of trapped in this energy. This energy here. But it's saying, by you creating a new beginning, which for me it feels like, you know, especially here, this is talking about letting go of the challenging emotions, working your way through it, and using your Magician energy to bring something new in. You know, here's an ending, here's a beginning. And there's a part of you that knows this, even if you're not consciously aware. And here's where you're feeling stuck. But you know that by bringing in this new beginning, you are going to be getting out of this challenge. Okay, let's get one for storm warning, or two. Now, this fell right over in here. Yeah, the storm warning. Love and compassion are huge. And to me, it kind of goes in with this deep knowing. Draw on your memories because they hold a key. Like I was just talking about with the deep knowing, you do know. And here, maybe this is unconscious or subconscious, maybe this is conscious, right? Actively think back on something that was similar, and it will give you the key on how to create the change. And you have the Fool, which is the very first card in the tarot, and you see she's leaning out over the ledge. She's taking a risk. But this is a big new beginning. So the way to remove this storm from your life is using love and compassion for yourself, or, the situation is going to be different for everybody. So whatever is appropriate, use the love and compassion, have this new beginning, totally close out of whatever that is. Now let's see about the Fox. So it looks like something is here that you see as a challenge, and you want to create the change. And you've had the Magician, which is you creating the change. The Ten of Swords, letting it go, closing it out. Ace of Pentacles, and the Fool, bringing in a new beginning. So in other words, this whole thing is saying if you're faced with an issue that is, the storm warning, overcoming any obstacle, whatever this is, if you're faced with this, the answer, I'm shortening this way up, is to close it out, whatever that means for you. Just be done with it. Use your Magician energy to do this. And it might take a little effort on your part to go through whatever you need to go through to get to this point. But use your energy, your Magician energy, to make this happen and have these new beginnings. And just let that go. The Fool is a big change, okay? This could be, doesn't have to be, but it's definitely a new beginning that has stick-to-itiveness. This is, like I said, literally, it's like closing out of a chapter and starting something new. So it's just wiping the slate clean. Now on Fox, this is being cunning and resourceful. You have the Page of Wands. And by being cunning and resourceful, using your intelligence, you're creating an opportunity to go forward with something that you truly love. Let's see about getting one more for that, if we can. So even though there could be challenges that you're facing right now, hold on to the knowledge that this is going to pass. And I think it will pass quickly because of the cards out here. The Magician, work your magic, right? The Fool, that's a big break in the action. You have a lot of cards that make me feel like this isn't going to be a long drawn out thing. It's going to be pretty fast. Well, and another one flew. Let me get that. This is what came out. Perfect. The Nine of Pentacles. You're going to be very happy with the abundance that you are bringing in by creating this change. Okay? Beautiful. Let's see what the universe would like to share. Any advice for pile one who might be going through a challenging time? Temperance. Have patience, bring in the balance, and alchemy, which to me is connecting you to the Magician, right? So make for sure you bring in balance for you. The more balanced you are, the more in the flow you are, which means things just happen so much smoother. Page of Swords. An opportunity coming in for you to be in your truth. Okay. Perfect. So here you're ending up with the Nine of Pentacles, being very happy. in your abundance. Here, this is being very happy, you and those you love. So while this is a challenge, what's coming from this is going to be beautiful. And do remember, even though this is a challenge, whatever happens in your life, there are nuggets of wisdom that you're going to want to keep. So you get rid of the challenge. You don't want that, but keep the wisdom. Right here, when I was talking about you probably know what to do deep inside, it's because of the wisdom that you've gathered over the years. So just keep gathering that wisdom, okay? And it will help you to know how to go forward. So you're getting out of the challenge and into a lot of happiness and very good abundance. So thanks so much. I really hope this helped. Maybe we should get a charm. Love these charms. Ah, yeah, here we go. Okay, this would be an oyster. Part of what I'm feeling from this is the potential exists that whatever the problem is has been building up. It doesn't have to be that way, but that's what's coming to me. And when you go through the process of removing that from your life, this oyster opens up and here's this beautiful pearl. You've learned a lot and it is giving you something of great value. Okay, thank you. Much love. Talk to you again soon. Bye. Hi, pile number 2. Let's see what we have for you. Turn knowledge into wisdom. Disruption. Never-ending story. Woman holding heart. And the key. This is Lenormand. So kind of what I'm getting here, these two right here, they both have a heart. Here's a heart, here's a heart. Never-ending story is talking about something you're involved with, and it's very, very personal, I feel. And it could have to do with anything. It could be how you feel in relationship to your career, your friends, just life in general. It could be anything. There could be depression, upset, and you feel like it's going on forever. This tends to be a positive. However, I feel like it is just kind of reinforcing this in this reading. So I feel like your heart is hurting. Now here you have a disruption. And I'm seeing this as a positive disruption. Something that's coming in and changing this. Here you have the wolf spirit turn knowledge into wisdom. So what I'm feeling from this is you're gaining knowledge here. Whatever it may be about. Something challenging going on. You're gaining knowledge and it is time for you to turn that into wisdom. And here you have key. This is about opening or closing opportunities, wishes, new beginnings. And it can also symbolize a way out of a situation that you're in, a solution to a problem, maybe a new perspective. This card deals with important questions that influence your life's path. So, what I'm really getting from this is it is time to create a change. You do not need to be in this energy. Matter of fact, you should not be. And it's probably been going on for a while. So it's saying it is time to create the change. Have a disruption. Learn from this. Take the knowledge that you've gained from this and turn it into wisdom. So if anything in the future happens that, something like this, you can see it coming on, you're going to know, no, not going to go down that road. And you have the key, which is talking about keeping the wisdom, but letting this go, and bringing in the new opportunities, what you want, your new beginnings. while it is a challenge, this sounds very common when it comes to life situations. And please don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's not important. I'm sure it is. I'm just saying this can happen a lot throughout life, where you get in a situation and then you realize at some point it's not good for you. So you get out of the situation and go for something you want. Now, one of the key points here is this for me. I think it's very important to turn that knowledge into wisdom, so you will be better protected, better, more ready to deal with anything that comes up where you can see it's leading down this path. Okay? So let's get a few cards. Here, turn knowledge into wisdom. You have the Queen of Wands. She goes for what she wants, what she desires, and she's very adamant. And she doesn't plan on getting stopped, and she's not going to let anybody stop her, actually. She doesn't really care what people think. So to me, there's a big connection here. Be very adamant about separating out the hurt, the challenges, etc., from the wisdom. The King of Cups. He is in control of his emotions, but his emotions run deep. He is full of intuition. I kind of feel like you have a card of being very adamant, very strong about going for something, very action-oriented. Here you have somebody who's very calm, collected. Now with the Queen of Wands and the King of Cups, this does make for a good possibility that this could have to do with something romantic, or at least a relationship between you and another. Their personalities are quite different. While only a possibility, it does exist. Okay, let's find out about disruption. Like I said, I see this as definitely being a positive disruption. What I think it is for me is where you've come to a realization here that this is not okay. And so you are creating the change. Definitely a positive. We don't even need to take another card for this. I'm going to set this up here so you can see it. Your disruption is bringing in the happiness, the abundance, the joy, the financial security. Whatever it is you're wanting, you're bringing it in. That is a disruption. You are making yourself get out of these energies and into the best energy possible. Kudos for you. Okay, yeah, new beginning. Getting out of this. We should probably just put these two together and get cards for these two together, because to me, they are just backing each other up in this. And this is, I'm doing this intuitively, I'm not going by what the book is saying, because they look, in this case, like they're hand in hand. Okay, so it's saying totally close out of this chapter of your life. Remove it totally. Just keep the wisdom. The Fool is the very first card in the tarot, and you can see how she's leaning out over this ledge, right? So it's saying, take the risk. There's no reason to stay in this energy whatsoever. So how big of a risk is it actually? Close this out. Be done with it. And have this wonderful new beginning. Okay, let's get a little more. Okay. Plant the seeds. Nurture this. Take good care of this. And in time, you are going to end up with this beautiful garden that's coming into fruition. So this might take a little bit of time to work through, to figure out. But when you get it figured out, it is time for that new beginning. create the disruption. Here you have the Hermit. So, two major arcana to go with this. This is where you're going in and finding your enlightenment. And it can be a little, take a little bit of time to get up here, going within, doing the searching, finding the answers, gaining your enlightenment. So, I kind of feel like it's reading this way. With this challenging energy, make for sure that you go within to figure it out. Why does it exist? What do you do with it? Have the patience, gain the enlightenment. Have the patience to work through this. Do what you need to do to make it go away. And have this wonderful new beginning, which is totally getting rid of this. So that's a disruption, which is leading you to the very best energy possible. Now let's get a card for key or two. Much happiness. You are going to be very, very happy. And remember, the key is about opportunities, wishes, new beginnings. So this whole thing looks like whatever has been troubling you, you're figuring it out, creating the change. Have patience, because you have to gain the enlightenment on knowing how to go about this. Bring in that new chapter. Have this new beginning. It's going to be absolutely wonderful. And it is important to make for sure that what happened here, you let go of the hurt or any of the challenging energies, but you keep that wisdom, and you have this new beginning, right? That is going to bring you so much happiness. This reading has some similarities with pile number 1. So if this resonates with you, you might check out pile number 1 as well. Okay, let's see what the universe would like to share with you. Okay, look at this beautiful here and here. Pile number 1 had this as well. This is saying you yourself are going to be very, very happy when you remove the challenge, and bring in this new beginning. And here it's saying the same thing, only this is you and everybody that you truly care about. So it's not just affecting you, it's affecting you and yours. This is saying be in your truth, figure it out, analyze it, make the decisions and take action, which is really kind of what we've been talking about, a lot of that. And use your intuition. So this is definitely advice here. Be in your truth, take action. Use your intuition, that gut feeling, because it will help to lead you in the correct way. And there's much happiness here for you. And the very best card in the tarot. Okay? So it's going to be great. This disruption's wonderful. Okay, let's get a charm. What do we have here? I love it. Expect miracles, okay? Do expect them. Thank you so much. I truly hope this helps. And I will talk to you again soon. Much love. Bye. Hi, pile number 3. Let's take a look and see what we have. Clear out the clutter. Okay, gotta love that one. This could be talking about literally, like spring cleaning your home. But I usually think it refers to what's going on within you. Space. There is something that you feel that you need to add to your life to feel complete. It could be because you feel a void, or it could be just because there's something that you want to add. Here you have happy. There's much joy coming in. Cornucopia. fabulous. This is abundance. You know, it's a little bit like the sun. Everything is going to turn out beautifully. And you have fish from the Lenormand. And what that means, it's wonderful as well. Finances, rewards, abundance, generosity. All this is coming in for you. And it can also include health, domestic bliss. It is a wonderful energy of things turning out beautifully. So you can look forward to some really beautiful times. Now these two I think kind of fit together, and I think these three kind of fit together, and I think this might be the outcome of this. Here it's saying clear out the clutter, get rid of what does not serve you. Because there's something that you want to put in your life and you need the space to do it. And that something is this: happiness, abundance, joy. Wow, what a reading. Okay, let's get a couple of cards. Okay, I can't help but I giggle. When I see the sun or happy, cornucopia fish, things like that, it just makes me really happy for you. Okay, the sun, the very best energy possible. It's the very best in the deck. So here, it's saying clear out the clutter. And there's this little ball there. It's not the right color, but to me that's just jumping right over here to the sun. By you clearing out the clutter, whether it's in your house, home, or within you, whether it's emotionally, physically, spiritually, you know, whatever it is, by you clearing that out, you're making room and bringing in the very best energy possible. We don't even need another card. That's good. That's great. Okay, let's get a card for space. Or two. Okay. Take a look at this. Three of Swords. Something has been going on that's been hurtful and or potentially confusing. You can see where the clouds are here and up, right? So it can be confusing, or it can be hurtful, or both. Let's get another card. Yeah, look at this. Here you are feeling stuck. Okay, I'm glad that came out. So, feeling hurt, confused potentially, feeling stuck in some situation, some energy, and you feel like you need to get out of this, which you do, to clear up what, you know, your life enough to bring in this new beginning. This is one of abundance, and also it's got roots in this deck. So it's something long-lasting if you choose. So this would be getting rid of the challenges internally, externally, putting in this new beginning in this space so you can feel whole and happy. Wow. Okay. Here, under happy, you have the Hangman, and I'm sure this is kind of talking about this, where you need to go in because you have questions about this that need answers, right? So you know what's going on, so you know how to create the changes. And it looks like you definitely are successful with this because you're bringing in this new beginning. And here, this is you being very determined. This is a powerful energy. Very determined to go for what it is you want, which is happiness. Okay, let's see about cornucopia here. Okay, you have the Queen of Cups. This could be somebody coming in your life, but I do feel like it is you because you are creating this change, or these changes. You know, getting out of this troubled energy and going into this energy that's filled with intuition, peace, love, all this beautiful energy that's really in the flow. So when you let go, I'll put this up here. When you let go of this energy, it's going to help you move forward into this energy, which is being in the flow. And it's going to help you to bring in this cornucopia, which is a little bit like the sun. I think I said that at the beginning of the reading. You can see the sun right here, you know, shining through. So by you getting out of the negativity and into a positive state of mind, you are bringing in beautiful energy. Now this is saying that this is a process. Go within is kind of like the Hanged Man, only different. Here you have questions that you're answering. Here you're finding your enlightenment. You know, you take the time it takes, however long that is, to go in and find your enlightenment. Find what the issue is here and clear it out, okay? By you doing that, it's bringing you into this beautiful energy that is just so peaceful. And it's also bringing you the cornucopia energy, which is very much like the sun, where abundance is definitely coming in. Okay, let's get one for fish. No, that's way too many. One more. Here you have the King of Cups. Here you have the Queen and King. So you have divine counterparts. And remember, with the fish, that is talking about finances, welfare, rewards, abundance, generosity. The fish is a card that symbolizes fulfilled hopes, successful completion of whatever has been going on. And it is such a positive card. It brings in much happiness. So, putting it all together, you clear out the problem, right? You make the space for this new beginning. And it's going to bring in the very best energy possible. The happiness, the abundance, the love, joy, peace. What it is you truly need. You have questions. You need to answer them. You're doing that. You need enlightenment. You're going in and finding that. Then you're speeding towards your goal, which is bringing you into a place that just flows like a beautiful stream, filled with so much happiness. Just gorgeous. Okay, let's see what the universe would like to share. Okie dokie. What do we have here? Balance. Okay, what this is talking about, by going through this process, the logical side as well as the heart-based side are both going to be balanced and working together, which means you will be in the flow. Things will be so smooth. Here, make for sure you use your intuition to help you go through this process, because your intuition will not lead you astray. It will lead you right where you want to be. You have the Nine of Pentacles, and this is talking about you're going to be very happy with your abundance. And I can totally see that. It's gorgeous. Okay, let's get a charm. Oh, you have AP. So, if there is anybody's name or town or anything that's important to you that begins with a P, this would definitely be for you. It can still be for you even if you don't know anybody or anything that has a P. But this is saying there's something special here with P. And when I saw this, what came to me is the word peace. So it looks like this is all about the peace. Thank you so much. I really hope this helps. And I'll talk to you again soon. Much love. Bye.